Welcome back to the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network. We're brought to you by Pelican, built tough for all situations. Go to pelican.com. Yak Gadget, for all your fine kayak fishing accessory needs. Go to yakgadget.com. East Port Marina, on the beautiful shores of Dale Hollow Lake, for all your lodging, kayaking, and fishing needs. Go to eastport.info. Now let's get this show started.
All right. It's Takeover Tuesday, baby. Let's do this.
Welcome to a special edition of the Rusty Hook Podcast, streaming live on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. 1 hour of straight talk regarding tournament news, angler profiles, gear reviews, and more. Now let's get our show started by joining with John Rapp, our host.
All right, man. I just don't know whether to put on my hat, take my hat on, put on my glasses. Crazy. So, I'll put it over here for now. But hey, it's Tuesday. Rusty Hook Kayak Fishing Podcast. I'm John Rapp. Hey, man, when you guys get a chance, make sure you go like the show. Hey, look there. You get to see double of me. But make sure you go over when you get a chance, like the show. Subscribe so you get notified when things are going on. Today's a pre-recorded show, so if you have questions about what's going on, make comments, leave it in the show so we can see what's going on, and we can get back to you when we can. So today, this show's about why. Why Dale Hollow? Why not Dale Hollow? I've been there for, this will be my third year. Looking forward to it. Love the event. Love the PNF crew, or I would not have joined in with these guys. Think the world of all of the hosts, past, present, and future. Brian Schiller puts on a great event. And he has great support from Richard DeVry at East Port Marina. The best venue. I mean, I've stayed at the houseboats for 2 years in a row. I love the ability to just jump off my boat, go 10 feet across the deck, and, jump in the houseboat, sleep, eat, take a shower, go over to the restaurant, grab something to eat if I want something hot. This year, hopefully, Beth will be with me and get to see what I've got to enjoy for the past couple of years, now that she's a little healthier and we can get her out back on the water. But why Dale Hollow? I think I've answered some of those questions, but I wanted to get insight from a few of the folks that have put on the event, like Brian. And then not only Brian, but talk to guys from West Virginia that have went, and a local from Tennessee, Jeff Parrott. So I've got John Abshire, Jeff Parrott, and Brian Schiller quizzed on why Dale Hollow, why East Port Marina, and we'll go from there. So stand by. Also, we're going to do some angler profiles. We'll throw those in, and hopefully learn some knowledge from some really great people that have provided some insight for us. Here's one. I think I've ran it last week, but I'm going to go ahead and run it again from my buddy Rick. See what y'all think.
God, I was 4 years old. Mom would take us catfishing, so that was the beginning. My favorite technique is sight fishing, absolutely. Finesse would be my second choice. In my favorite fishermen as far as like kayak and then professional level. The kayak, Mike McKinstry, dude, you got my ultimate respect. I had to do it the hard way myself, and I just respect all the risk you took. Congrats. Rick Clun, you're the swamp master, and you and I are cut from the same cloth. So Rick Clun on the pro level. My least favorite fishing technique, deep water. It's something that I still got to get more appropriate with in my applications. My greatest accomplishment fishing. I've won a lot of tournaments. I'm very proud to be part of Feel Free. Very near and dear to my heart. Beautiful company, people. Honestly, staying humble through it all, learning from other anglers and sharing with other anglers. I think that's the greatest accomplishment, is not shutting down. A fun day of fishing to me would be probably the late Doug Hannon. And I used to fish a lot with Doug, learned a lot from him, and we just had a blast. He's such a normal, everyday guy, so that would be fun. My favorite fishery, I like anything with water darn near, but swamps are special to me. Big bass, heavy cover, gorilla fishing. That's my favorite.
All right, guys. Hey, I'm gonna reach out to the Podfather. I'm gonna reach out and say, hey, why, Podfather? Why are we going back to Dale Hollow? Why Dale Hollow in the first place? Really would like to know what got you started. Why do you go back? Why did you go from a meetup to a tournament? And just tell me why. So let's see if we can find my boy Brian Schiller, the killer, the Podfather, and get him on the show. Wait, this might be him here. Oh, hey, Brian Schiller, welcome, buddy.
What's up, brother?
Hey, man, so I just was talking to the audience here, to the group. Everybody's watching the show. And, got a couple people I want to interview after I talk to you. Talk about Dale Hollow, the event, the everything about Eastport, the venue, the lake. But there's history. There's got to be history on why Paddle and Fin has made that a yearly destination. So can you talk about that?
Yeah, we as a group, Paddle and Fin, a bunch of the hosts met down there one year, and Richard down there at East Port Marina invited us all down to stay in one of the beautiful cabins there on the shores of Dale Hollow Lake, and we just really fell in love with the place. And not only that, like, the biggest thing for us was it's kind of centrally located for all of our hosts. So when we were actually down there for that meetup, it came up in conversation, and at that time we were, talking about doing some events and things like that. So when it all popped up, it was like, well, we should do a big open event down here and, kind of do it as an annual thing. And, excuse me, we had presented that to Richard and Wendy and the folks down at Eastport. They were like, yep, we would love to have you. We love the kayak fishing community. They have their little kayak shop there down at the marina. And, we fell in love with the property. Richard showed us the barn, which is, HQ for the event.
Right.
And, I think that facility is only 5, maybe 6 years old now. But it's a beautiful barn type setting on 90 acres of property, um, that overlooks the whole Dale Hollow Valley. And, it has plenty of room for as many anglers as we could pack in there.
No
I mean,
doubt.
you could park a lot of vehicles on 90 acres of land, right? And
Yep.
that's always the struggle, right? When you have a check-in or an award ceremony is parking, because guys have trailers, they have trucks with kayaks sticking out of the back, things like that. So that's always a struggle when you're trying to find a venue that can house, up to, 100, 200, 300 anglers, right? You need a pretty big venue for that.
So let me get
Uh,
this straight. So 4 years ago, you guys went down there and had a paddle and fin podcast group meetup. And while you were there 4 years ago, it's like y'all proposed to the owner, let's do this again next year. We'll all meet up, but we'll host an open 2-day tournament, which that was my first event that where I got to meet you guys. So that's how that got started, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it was let's do, and we had tossed around some ideas because we did a 2-day event, and then on the third day we kind of did like a what we called the Clash of Clubs, and we kind of stepped away from that and just focused on like the individual event. The whole Clash of Clubs idea, I'm not saying that that's going away, but I think that's something we could build off of down the road. But we wanted to build that 2-day event. And the first year, I'll be the first to admit, I think we kind of screwed up a little bit because day one was on a Friday, right? Day two was Saturday, and then we did the Clash of Clubs on the third day. So the following year, we went to just the 2-day format, and day one was Saturday, day two was Sunday. So that way, people traveling didn't have to take as much time off of work. Everybody's vacation time is precious, right? And they only want to spend it in certain ways. So, we kind of re-strategized and did that, 2-day format, Saturday, Sunday. And, it's every year, it's basically the participation has doubled every year.
Right.
And, we've ran into some struggles over the years. Like there was I think it was an MLF event or something going on at the same time, or a bass event last year, down there on Dale Hollow Lake with the big boat guys and stuff like that. But it ended up not being a problem.
Not at all. No.
All the kayak guys, didn't have any issues or anything like that. So we just continue to do that, and we try to offer a fun event. Yeah, there's the competitive side there, right? But, we've talked about it many times. Like, we make sure that everybody doesn't go home empty handed. Everybody goes home with something. It may be, $30 worth of baits, or all the way up to like last year, Richard,
Yeah.
gave away a Newport motor to
NK 180.
NK 180 to the guys that didn't even catch a fish. There was 3 guys that didn't submit a fish during the 2 days. So, he had those guys pick a number 1 through 10 and gave them a Newport motor, the guy that was closest. Like the year before that, we gave away 3 kayaks. So I mean, we try to incentivize it. So like, we got some big ticket items, we got some medium size items, and some small items, but we try to make it so, everybody goes home with something, even if they don't win any money. You know what I mean? So it's all about getting anglers from across the country together, having a good time, and just kind of kicking the season off, And not only that, but Dale Hollow Lake, it's a world-renowned fishery. I think Richard said in the last podcast I did with him, like 4 out of the top 5 world record smallmouth came out of Dale Hollow Lake. That may have changed slightly because I know there's been some records in other states caught, but the world record smallmouth is from Dale Hollow. But the thing that people don't always understand is that the size and amount of very big largemouth bass in Dale Hollow Lake is pretty extravagant as well. So
feisty spots too.
Right, and not only that, right, but you have a lot of rivers that are in play for this event. So if you're a river fisherman, you can fish to your river skill set, but then you also have the main lake for those lake guys that can fish to their lake type spots or style of fishing. So it's kind of a great all around lake for any angler to be able to succeed at, you know.
So the why.
We've had.
So the why is it's the venue is pretty close to all your PNF hosts. It's centralized in the fishing world. It's in Tennessee.
Yep.
You got a great venue
Yep.
at East Port Marina, and you're on a world-class lake with the world record smallmouth record. So,
well, and not only that, but you know, I always say world record accommodations, right? Like the folks at Eastport, they're like family to the kayak community, you know, like they treat everybody like a family member. They want to make sure you're there having a good time. They offer all types of lodging. Like this year, they said, you know what? Anybody that wants to camp can camp for free up by the barn.
Yep.
When they have the houseboats there, so they'll offer you a houseboat room for $50 a night. You got a full kitchen, full bathroom, your own bedroom, all that kind of stuff. And not only that, they got the restaurant there. You know,
great
food.
Hey, are you looking forward to those biscuits and gravy like I am?
Oh, brother, you have no idea. You have no idea. But you know, and every year we try to do something different and try to make it accommodating for the anglers, because this isn't about paddle and fin, it's about the anglers, right? And that's always been our mindset when it comes to holding some type of event is, you know, because we've all tournament fished, right? So we've seen the good, the bad. So we try to take little aspects of all the goods that we've seen in all the different tournaments that we've fished and incorporate it into this one event. So like this year, with your entry fee, you're getting a free dinner Saturday night at check-in.
Yep.
That's not coming out of the prize pool. And that's something too, right? Like a majority of tournaments, they withhold PayPal fees, they withhold Tourney X fees, this and that. And, you know, it seems to diminish the prize pool. Well, we've since day one always said, Paddle and Fin covers the Tourney X fees. They cover the PayPal fees. 100% of your money going into the pot is getting paid out, and then we always pay out more than that.
Yes,
you know, like, you know, and that all, you know, comes from Paddle and Fin, and you know, like, you know, our sponsorships that we work out with companies and things like that. And like, that's, you know, when we talk about the business aspect of Paddle and Fin, that's something we always talk about with those companies. Look, like, we're not stacking cash in our pockets, right? All that money is going back into the anglers and things like that. So, you know, and when kayak companies or companies in the fishing, kayak fishing realm hear that, they're like, yeah, we're all in. We'll support you guys 100%. Yep. You know, so, you know, we try to make it a great, clean, fun event. We try to make it as inexpensive as possible, but the payouts are really nice, you know? So, you know, for a 2-day event, you know, the entry fee is $100, so it's $50 a day. You know, that's pretty much your grassroots club, you know, tournament level, you know, combined into 2 days. And, I mean, you can go home with a couple $1,000 at the end of the day if you're winning the tournament, you know. And we've always handed out the big checks. This year we got the medallions being made as well.
Beautiful. They are
Um,
beautiful.
so yeah, so we got some hardware that guys are going home with, you know, prizes, money, all that good stuff, you know. So, I mean, why not go to the Dale Hollow event? You know what I mean?
And Brian Schiller, the Podfather, the PNF Guru, has just spoken.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother. You have
You're
a safe
welcome,
trip.
man.
You have
Thank
a
you.
safe trip home.
Will do, brother.
All right. So as the PNF Guru has just spoken, I think it's now time to bring on a few other anglers to talk about their experiences. Stand by and let's do it. All right, guys, I'm going to reach out, talk to my good buddy Jeff Parrott, and I'm going to reach out to several people. We're going to reach out to Jeff, and we're going to ask him about the Paddle and Fin Open, the 2-day event down at East Port Marina. You know, what they liked about it, what made them come, you know, just and talk about the event and what they enjoyed about it last year. And I know Jeff is planning on coming again this year, and some of the people I'll be reaching out to, they're coming back. Why? Why are they coming back is the question. And we're going to interview these folks and find out a little bit about what brought them back. So, let me get Jeff Parrott out of the background and bring him on the show. What do you say, Jeff? Are you live for all and unfiltered here on the Rusty Hook Kayak Fishing Podcast? Jeff Parrott.
Hey, John, it's a pleasure to be with you today. Excellent time of the year to do some fishing on Dale Hollow, and I'm glad to be part of your show and glad to be a part of this 3rd annual event that's coming up.
Yes, it's going to be a good event. Going to be a real good event.
We really enjoyed it down there. I know I enjoyed all you guys from West Virginia. Y'all are a great group of people, and you are especially, John. I like all the things that you do for the kayaking world there out of your group and beyond with the Rusty Hook and so forth. Enjoyed that. Yeah, this will be my 2nd time down at the Paddle and Fin event. I liked it so good the first time last year. I decided I'd do it again this year. And looking forward to it, John.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit. I'm curious, you know, what were the small things or the things first that got you to come up the first place last year? I mean, how did you hear about it? What made you decide, hey, I'm going to go try that?
Well, I'll tell you how I found out about it. This time of the year, I generally go down to the East Port Marina and I do crappie fishing. I'm primarily a crappie fisherman and a walleye fisherman. We have a lake here in East Tennessee that sets up quite similar to Dale Hollow. So I've been going down there for a number of years, and Richard has just been a great host. He and Wendy and their crew are just super people. So that's kind of how I found out about it to begin with, John. Is I got down there and I found out some information about some kayakers and so forth. And Richard and I had talked. And he had mentioned, he said, well, you need to come down sometime and bring your crew with you and try the kayak here with Paddle and Fin. So that's kind of how I started out getting into the Paddle and Fin event down there last year and liked it so much, I just had to come back.
Yeah, that's right. So, you made the trip. You got to hang out with the guys down there. You got to pre-fish one day. That's where we met. Mm-hmm. And then we hung out together up at the top of the mountain, ate some good food, got to socialize. What was the feeling about the event that made you feel comfortable?
Well, I'll tell you what, I think all of us share a common commonality for sure by just being kayak fishermen. So once I got down there, and I didn't know anybody other than Richard and Wendy, and I think Nicole was there working, and their son. And I didn't know anybody. But the thing that just really set everything off is that we had a lot of commonalities. And after I spent 5 or 10 minutes with all you guys, I felt like I've known you all for years. And it was just a good feeling to be down there with you, Greg, and some of the other fellas there from West Virginia, and even some of the local guys that came up from Cookeville, Tennessee. But we were all there for the same thing, and it was just really good camaraderie and a good place to fish.
Excellent, excellent. So, are you signed up for this year?
I am signed up. I checked it the other day. There's not a lot of people signed up yet, but I went ahead and signed up. Ended up getting a cabin down there, so I secured that. I like staying at the same place. I'm used to it there, up on top of the hill where you guys visited me last year, and so I'm locked in and ready to go. I've been trying to get some of my gear together, and like I said, our lake here in East Tennessee, North Lake, sets up a whole lot like Dale Holla, but I haven't really been doing any pre-fishing on Dale Holla yet. But hopefully here in the next few days, I'll try to get down there and maybe give you guys another report as we get a little closer to the date.
I'm actually, we would really love that. Love to find out what the water conditions are, if the water's up, down, and what the plans are there with the Corps of Engineers and stuff like that. So, looking forward to it. I know you were up at that cabin that we visited last year, and I'd like to apologize now for my buddies from West Virginia that cleaned you out of your orange juice.
I didn't bring it up.
We won't talk about what you were putting in the orange juice, but we will talk about you. We cleaned you out of your orange juice. So
you guys did. I tell you what, maybe I'll bring a couple more extra quarts this time of the orange juice. I'll let somebody else bring the quart of something else.
Awesome,
no, that was good. You guys are always welcome and warm at my place for sure when I'm there. I mean, like I said, you and Greg and the other fellas there, y'all just seem like my buddies that I've been fishing with for years. So again, we have the same commonalities and the same goals. So looking forward to it. Just can't wait, John. It's going to be great.
I hear you, man. I hear you. So 2023 is here. What's your tournament rig going to be this year?
Well, would you want to go out there in my barn and check it out?
Hey, let's do that. Show us your setup, baby. Show us setup.
I live here on a farm in East Tennessee in the area called Clinton, Tennessee. It's kind of between, it's north of Knoxville, it's about 20 miles.
So you're in Clinton?
I'm in Clinton, Tennessee. That's right.
Yeah, I was looking at property in Clinton there recently, but
it's
nice. One of our paddle and fin boys is actually living in Clinton now.
I think I've seen a truck at one of the grocery stores with the paddle and fin logo on his back window. I think so.
You remember? Do you remember Jay from the OG show with Jay and Brian?
I think so, vaguely. I think so, but yeah, I believe you're right. I think there is a local guy,
Jay Randall. He lives right down the road from you, I'm sure.
Oh, that'd be great. He's probably not far at all from you.
Yeah, you need to reach out to him here.
I certainly will, John. Let me swing around here. I'm going to be fishing out of the same boat that I used last year. This is the Hobie PA-12, and this is kind of the setup that I've got as of right now. I know you guys are going to be using your motors, and I'm not going to rule out have one someday as well. But I'm going to be using this one. It serves me pretty well. It's a good little setup. It's the 12, not the 14, and I have a Chevy Silverado that's got a shorter bed, so I generally don't trailer it. Now I do have a trailer over here, but I'm going to put that in the back of the truck. And of course, I've got this other little guy here that I play around with, and that's the Hobie Mirage Lynx, and that's a good little craft right there. So that's pretty much my setup right there that I use. And it depends on where I'm going, John. A lot of times I will disassemble some of this and trailer the PA-12. Of course, I've got this is my crappie rig that I take down to areas like East Port and go for some crappie and walleye. That's a handy little box right there for a lot of your viewers that don't have a box to store their rods in. That right there is special. I tell you, you go down the interstate, you're in good shape on that. A lot of my gear is over here that I keep stored. I'm also a member of our volunteer fire department, and I'm a certified CPR and AED equipped, and I fly the drone for our fire department when we have brush fires. So anyway, in my retirement years that I'm spending here, I was an electrical engineer for 30 years at the Department of Energy, and I do a lot of radio communication work. As a matter of fact, I kind of wish some of you guys had your license. We would just take our radios down there, and we could certainly stay in touch with each other. But anyway,
Yeah.
anyway,
That's
that's
you got a
kind of my
sweet
setup.
man. You got a sweet setup there. You're gonna make a lot of guys jealous of that garage with the kitchen in it and stuff.
Yeah, it's got, I mean, I've got all my tools and all my sort of toys over here. I
Yeah,
guess.
heck yeah. That's a
As a
heck
matter
of
of
it.
fact,
You can
as a
live
matter
in
of
that
fact,
place.
as a matter of fact, some guys from Netflix came, and they were pickers, and they actually bought quite a few of my signs. I had several. I've still got a lot of antiques in here and a lot of signs, and it's just stuff that I have collected over the years. Now I know you boys are good West Virginia fans. I'm a Tennessee Tech man, and I'm thinking there'll probably be a few Cookville boys down there fishing with us. But anyway, that's my setup out there in the garage. Let me show you something while I'm here. Uh, I, I don't know if you noticed this, John, but I'm going to go ahead and run some lights, even though it's not required. I kind of ordered those, and that'll kind of
Oh
keep
yeah.
things
Yeah.
situated. I've got some here on the interior. These
Very
are just little
nice.
battery powered. And what I'll do is I'll run those, for the first couple of hours till we get some sunlight on there.
Yeah, nice, very nice, very nice.
Keep things in there and squared away, and so that'll be the setup there, of course, with the 360 light and a flag back in the back. So
Yeah, you're set up, and you go if you when you go to East Port, you might talk to Richard and talk him into making you a good deal on that little NK 180 motor to put on that baby.
I will talk to him about that. As a matter of fact, I was kind of interested in talking to him last year about that. I got so carried away there with the tournament and so forth that I didn't get a chance to. But I like Richard, and he's a good guy. Very accommodating folks down there at East Port Marina. They are every time I've been down there, they've always taken care of me real well, and I really appreciate that. They made me feel right at home, and I try to do a little bit of business with them and spread the wealth just a little bit with them.
I hear you, buddy. I hear you. Well, hey, stand by 1 second. I'm gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna come back and just chat a little bit more.
Sounds good.
Feel free kayaks. Paddle, pedal, or power. There's something for everyone. Do Bro Fishing. Manufactured and designed marine products, American-made plastics, and fishing gear. Westbrook Supply Company, Atlanta's best kayak company for all your paddling and fishing needs. Yak Gadget, American-made kayak fishing accessories and gear. Ace Adventure Resort, West Virginia's #1 outdoor destination. Whitewater, ziplining, water park.
All right, we are back, and I believe I'm going to ask my buddy here to do a little.
I know what you want. I know
Yep.
exactly what you want.
Yep, he knows what I'm going to ask for here, folks. So
Exactly what you want, and I got exactly something for you guys. Especially, we this has been a long time coming. Being in the Parrott Brothers band, we played all over the United States and done various things. But I'm just going to do you just one little quick bar here, and I'm going to send this out to you and all your West Virginia buddies.
woo!
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain, Shenandoah River. 'Cause fishing's good there, it's older than the sea, younger than the mountains, blowing like a breeze, country roads take my buddies home to the place I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home, country roads. That's for you,
Outstanding.
West Virginia, you know. Y'all are
Outstanding,
good
buddy.
guys.
Hey, we appreciate you, brother. Hey, thanks for the love. Thanks for the little ditty. And thanks for showing us your setup and talking about kayak fishing at East Port Marina. With the
I look
paddle
forward to
fin.
seeing all you guys, John. Thank you so much for having me on your channel. I appreciate it. I look forward to it. And if there's anything I can do to help any of the folks that are down there, they know where to find me. I'll be up there in one of those little cabins on the hill. And if I'm on the water somewhere and somebody needs some help, whether it's technical or health wise or something, they can get a hold of me and I'll come running.
Hey, when are you planning on showing up this week or during the week there?
I'm going to probably get down there Friday morning. I'm not going to pre-fish that day. I'll leave here and go down there and hang out. Maybe have a cheeseburger and maybe run around and try to find some of you guys. Maybe go over to the barn and get reacquainted over there with those folks. Say hello to Susie Q and some of the directors, Brian and all them. They do such a fine job there, and I enjoy watching their videos on YouTube as well.
Okay, man. Well, we look forward to seeing you. Thanks again for giving us a little bit of info and rundown on what you thought of last year. And we're looking forward to seeing you here in about 30 days.
Sounds good, John. God bless you. And if there's anything I can do for you personally, you let me know. It's always a pleasure.
All right. All right. Now I'm going to reach out, see if I can get one of the guys that placed high down at Paddle Fin last year, see if he's going back, find out why he liked it, why he went, get all the details from him. Let's reach out and see if we can get Jonathon Abshire on the show. Let me dial him in. Oh, got him in the background. Boom. Johnny, live raw and unfiltered, Big Dad. Talk to me.
What's going on, John?
Hey, man, it's nothing but a pleasure to have you, as always, on the Rusty Hook Kayak Fishing Podcast. So, man, another episode, we're talking Dale Hollow, which I know is one of your favorite lakes. If you're not winning a tournament in West Virginia, you love going somewhere and taking money somewhere else. And last year, you had a really good time, good event, placed third at Dale Hollow with the Paddle and Fin Open. So talk to me about, what made you decide to go, where you stayed at, what you did while you were there, fishing wise, eating wise. Talk to me about what you thought of the East Port Marina, and if you plan on going back this year.
Sure. I honestly didn't know much about that tournament last year, and talking with Brandon Honecker, he was telling us about it, and I reached out to you, and I was just in one of those places last year where I needed a break. It was early in the year, but just busy from winter, a lot of stuff going on at work, and just needed a break. So I decided to take a break. Went down East Port Marina, and Richard, you cannot say enough about him and that place. It's absolutely phenomenal, great facilities, outstanding person. I mean, just the nicest guy. When I got there, I expected, went to find somebody, and I expected, go in, hey, I'm here, I need to check in and pay for my stuff. That's all right, don't worry about it. You'll be here till the end of the week. You're not going nowhere. I got something else I got to do. Just super laid back. I mean, nobody had a care in the world. I mean, just was really, really awesome. And again, like I said, the facilities, I got lucky enough actually that I won free night stay on a houseboat there.
That's right. That's right. So I don't know. I don't think that is something that's came up for this year, but that's something that he did do last year. And you and I think Gillespie won from West Virginia last year, didn't you?
And so did Brandon. So did Brandon Honecker.
Yeah. So we had 3 guys win 2 night stay on the houseboat. So you camped out a couple nights and then stayed at the houseboat, or did you stay at the houseboat the whole time and pay for a couple nights?
I went ahead and stayed at the houseboat the whole time, just simply because the price that they have on those things to be able. I mean, it's $50 a night.
Yeah,
I mean, that's super cheap to be able to stay somewhere.
and it's the same again this year. Yep.
Yeah. So I've already called and booked me a spot. I'm jumping ahead, so I'm going back, just because it's that awesome. I mean, it's just so relaxed. The food and everything's great down there. The guys at Paddle and Fin, I didn't know any of them, and they all come up like we'd been fishing, for years. Just super laid back. They just stop and talk to you. You know, the atmosphere was just phenomenal. I mean, it was just super laid back. I mean, it's almost like fishing a WVKA event, but you had it. You'd been doing it for years, and you had been there for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah. So it gave you that feel of home, but a tournament out of state at a bigger venue. So
Right.
not really that it's a bigger venue for us. WVKA has some of the biggest venues in our region, but we felt right comfortable at that venue.
Right. And honestly, the water felt comfortable
Yes.
because it was a like a Summersville
Bluestone.
/ kind of mud river,
Yeah.
kind of. Yeah, I mean, it was really, when you get onto a lake like that, I mean, you really don't know what to expect. And I mean, even Summersville, as great as it is really aggravating for a lot of people.
Ain't that the truth?
But once you explore it a little bit, I mean, it turns out, it was just really awesome to fish. So,
Well, obviously you and I and a lot of us West Virginia guys that showed up did quite well. I think we had 5
4
guys in the top
10?
11. 5 in the top
Oh,
11,
yeah.
I think. Yeah. Gillespie
Yeah.
finished 11th and won the battery.
Yep.
So, and that's the other thing, folks. If you guys don't, when you show up for a tournament at Eastport, one thing I can tell you about is that Richard is not shy about prizes. So there'll be prizes right out of the top 10, 11, 12, and then for you guys that maybe skunk could walk away, like the last year guy walked away with a Newport NK180 worth over $1,000, which really was better than all prize places except for first. So when it comes to money and prizes value wise. So, but yeah, so I know you pre-fished. I know you stayed at the houseboats. What did you think of the farm and all the facilities up on top of the hill?
Oh, the farm was beautiful. I mean, if you could move the houseboats up there, I mean, besides staying on the water itself,
Yeah.
I mean, it was just beautiful. I mean, he has done an excellent job with that place up there. We had a ton of room, to sit there and do check-ins and hang out and sit and eat, people walking around talking and stuff. I mean, it's a phenomenal place. It's a place that I hope to take my wife and I one day, just to go down, hang out. I mean, because he's done just an excellent job there.
Yeah, I agree. So, what are you fishing out of this year, Big John?
Well, I'm gonna change things a little bit. I'm still planning on fishing out of the Hobie PA 14 this year, but I'm really wanting to get the New Canoe Unlimited set up. I got one of those at the end of last year and fished a couple river events with it, and wanting to really get it set up and try it out on the water as far as a lake with the Torpedo 1103.
You'll be like a jet boat going across the water in that thing.
Well, that 1103 moves that Hobie PA 14 pretty good. That Unlimited's a little bit shorter, but the little bit of time I spent on moving river, the stability was fantastic, and just I got a ton of room to just put stuff and move, and
so that's another thing. Are you going to bring 50 pounds of plastic inside your Hobie this time?
Yes. Yes. I always
Okay.
bring 50 pounds of plastic. Hey,
Oh,
listen, I went through probably 10 pounds last year. So, you know,
yeah. No, we had to give you a hard time about that.
oh no, I forgot about that actually. It's funny you brought that back up. So,
Oh heck! All right, man. I look forward to seeing you down there and having some breakfast and dinner, and hopefully, as of right now, your cousin is coming, and she is not. I'm not. I pretty much put her rear end to the fire and said, "You're not finding a reason not to go." So, and if she
well,
if she tries to back out, I'm gonna call you so we can double team her and say you got to go.
well, you know, you just call me because I could always just make a sales call up there and we'll just hog tie her and throw her in the boat and then she can't go nowhere. So,
I like it. I like it, buddy. Well, what are your plans for pre-fishing? You going down for the week before, like last year?
yeah, I'm gonna try to head down like possibly Tuesday evening. Get there late Tuesday evening, and then just be ready to go first thing Wednesday morning, and fish. Honest, that's one of the other things I liked about down there is we had so much time, and you know, to just go out and
Explore.
man, I got to explore a lot. Of course, you know, I'm a big faith guy. You know, so I had time to sit down on those houseboats and read the Bible and just really get into myself, you know,
Yeah.
just kind of get connected back into my roots and things like that. And,
Decompress.
you know, yeah, yep. So it was just an awesome tournament for me. So yeah, I cannot wait to go back down there.
Awesome, John. Well, I appreciate you pulling off the side of the road and chatting with us a little bit, talking about the Del Hollow event, and nothing but love for you, buddy.
You too, buddy. I appreciate it. I mean, if we could get half of the guys, I mean, if we could pull some West WVKA guys, some SWVKA guys, and even some MSKA guys, and go down there to Del Hollow and really show these guys how good us West Virginia guys can fish. I think that's awesome. It always makes a big standout. You know, we don't always get known for the best things in the world, but we got guys that know how to fish. So,
Well, I don't think they would want that. I mean, when we 5 out of 11 last year, we take more guys down there. We'd be cleaning out their pump house down there and everything, food, everything.
that just means everybody else will have to start shelling out.
That's right. That's right. All right, brother. Nothing but love for you. Thank you. I appreciate some
You too.
good comments there, good commentary, and always fun to talk with you, man.
You too, buddy. Thank you so much.
You stay safe out there.
You too. Thanks.
All right, guys. Make sure you go like, share, and comment on the show, and let's see who else we can reach out to. Appreciate Johnny taking some time to talk to us. Now, all right, guys. I hope the redundancy wasn't overboard. Just had to ask that one question: is why? I hope the 3 guys we interviewed tonight provided you with the answers. I know this 4th guy is definitely going back, and I'm dragging my beautiful wife screaming and kicking with me to enjoy the sights and sounds of Del Hollow and East Port Marina. We're going to have a good time, looking forward to it, and I hope you guys will join us as we make the trip down later in the month. Ain't that right, baby? I'm about to get my ass whooped, so I better go off the air. Anyway, this is John Rapp, wishing you all the best.